now for the Kled, and that's what it's going to be. But Tier could have leaned more into the AP tree. However, now moving over to Mbappe, our winner of the last lobby, has a bit of a different opener, probably not going AP, of course, with the 2 bows, but a really strong board. Nidalee is one of the best 3-cost early game carries, Bryce.
Yeah, she absolutely is. She's such a terrorist with the dodging, right? There's so many fights that feel like they go from lost to won with that swing of the Nidalee dodge, and he slams the early Titans as well. I love this slam. I think Titans is one of the most underrated early game items because fights tend to last a long time. If you are able to build that Titans early, you're actually able to stack it up to full in a lot of fights, particularly if they're close. It's an item that adds tankiness, it adds damage as well. It is more akin to the way in which I was describing Robin Song's play. Very interesting. He's choosing to go with the early 4 Legionnaire board. I like that a lot. I think 4 Legionnaire has so much flexibility and power, and there it goes. He slams the Banshee's Claw as well. I think an underrated early game slam. Oftentimes you can deny some very powerful ults in the early game, like a Kha'Zix, for example. So he's coming up against Mbappe, who is win streaking, and that Nidalee is going to do a meaningful amount of work, but can it dodge enough to survive? It cannot. Due to In's Mbappe streak, we will have no win streakers at Krug's Krullen. Hopping on board with Hwan Mi, who is committed to the Kled. We have the Morello slammed on the cannon. We have a Death Blade onto Kled. Not the best Kled item, by the way. It's okay. He does have a cloak on the bench, so likely going with the Runin's Hurricane Death Blade combination. Not best in slot Kled by any means, but not the worst. We've seen Kled work with a number of different items going up against Nukamoru, who also has a Kled 2 on board, using it as a transitional item holder, though not his main carry.
Yeah, the Kennen, if he casts, it's going to be big. Applying Morellos to so many units, that is going to be big for the burn. And the Kled, actually, Deathblade Kled wins out, targeting differential, stacking up to 70. Now 80 stacks on this Deathblade. Gragas is not going to be able to cast once again. And is back to 40 gold right now, didn't have to sell. And now the Radiant Armory comes through, Bryce. What do you make of these options here for Nukamoru?
It's almost certainly going to wind up being Shroud. He needs to scout around and see how valuable Shroud is in the lobby, but we know there's at least one AP player, potentially a couple. This has been a lobby that has heavily favored Aphelios overall, and Shroud does so much work in delaying the Shroud cast. Okay, so opting into the Radiant RFC is very interesting. It likely means Draven, and I'll be honest, I don't love this selection. Draven with the RFC is really good, but Deathblade is a fairly mediocre item on Draven right now, unless you get the Runin's Hurricane to complement it. So it's not going to be ideal optimization on the Draven, but he felt like he needed a carry item there. Do you like this play?
I mean, already have 2 carry items, right? It is nice to pick a Shroud. I think this is a multiple AP player lobby, as you were kind of saying. I think the Shroud would get a ton of value. Nukamoru certainly has the Draven in mind, though. It almost like has to be that from this spot. I mean, Riven uses RFC, but reroll Riven, I don't think is really going to cut it. Only has 1, is level 6. The Riven's good enough for now. I mean, we see her absolutely farming Chichu's board.
Hits the Spear of Shojin and says, you know what, I am playing Vel'Koz from the spot. A last second reposition, and he's in perfect position to deal with Mbappe's board.
Yeah, the Syndra going to peel as well. Nidalee does jump to the back line. See how much damage this Vel'Koz is able to output. It is enough to take down the Nidalee. Cheetah gonna be able to snap this loss streak here. A-Bomb gonna be tanking. There we go, another cast.
Yeah, I think it probably is Draven composition, which means it's either a Cavalier spat or a Sin spat optimally. Not something you would typically want to prioritize there, but it could also be going to deny it to the lobby. Hopping on board with Dudu, who is in big transition mode, rolling it all the way down, clearly wants to play Abomination, needs to find a Vel'Koz, not able to find one yet. There is a Gwen, and he does have very good items for this Gwen. He's got a blue buff, he has a Gunblade, and he has the Radiant Giant Slayer, so this Gwen 1 will do an enormous amount of work with this, but it won't be able to carry for very long. Gwen 2 with these items, we're talking about lobby winning.
Oh yeah, I mean, Dudu nearly did it earlier with a Gwen 2. It did have Assassin this time, not the Assassin, but still, look at the work. Oh, the Syndra, though. Even Syndra 1s are so good. The peel potential there sets it up for the Vel'Koz, but Gwen is just dashing all around. She's going to dash into the Vel'Koz and take it out. We see the power of it right now, Bryce, but as you were alluding to...
Meanwhile, moving over to Mbappe, who we see has not gone to level 8 yet. This is the consequence of rolling on 3-2, right? He rolls on 3-2 to try to stabilize, and then he has to wait all the way until 5-1. He's taken an absolute shellacking in stage 4 on a 4 loss streak. He has lost every fight on this stage. Can he turn it around against this Gwen?
Let's see, it depends on the Gwen targeting. I mean, the Nidalee is just getting caught on the Abomination. Gwen's gonna start snipping, but the Nidalee survives. That Titan stacks up, but it's not quite enough. The Fist of Fairness on the Olaf, not quite good enough, of course. That's getting moved around later, but Mbappe...
Moving over to Scipius's board, who is a very solid iteration of this Yasuo blue buff. Not a common Yasuo item, but a very effective one.
Definitely very effective, and the front line is going to be amazing. The thing is, of course, Yasuo's still a melee unit. He's going to be getting into the thick of things, and it's against the Gwen right now, but Yasuo probably going to be able to heal up and not get taken down by it. Abomination might have something to say about it, though. Going to apply some burn with the Sunfire, but here we go, one slash. He needs a second one, needs a third one, and the Gwen finally goes down. It is Yasuo against the world, but the healing from the Radiant Gunblade isn't going to be enough, and it won't be.
Damage there. Robin is in a great position, and he's fluidly thinking about this Draven positioning. We haven't gotten a chance to talk about Draven yet, but this is one of the most interesting positioning units in the game. We've seen the frontline Draven get prioritized in China, and there's obviously extreme value in that, particularly against Vel'Koz and Lucian matchups. Second row positioning also very prominent because, again, you want to catch the axes. Robin's able to get directly in front of this Yasuo. The Rel is able to cast and get CC on it as well, and there comes the Thresh. So much damage onto Scipius' Yasuo 3. Yasuo 3 doesn't get to play the game. That is a player diff, Crow, and such clean positioning from Robin is going to net him this fight win. He's the player with damage still alive. No damage left over for Scipius, albeit he does have this Jack slowly scaling up, but with no items on it. It is a fight win for Robin, and it's such an important bounce back game for him with such struggling so much at games 1 and 2. You love to see him playing it with confidence. So good from Robin.
Faced that Yasuo board, and the CC was perfect. The Rel into the Thresh, into the kill. We went back over to Mbappe. Mbappe rolling for the Lucian 3. Oh, is one away now. One away. Can he find it? Can he hit this? This would be a lobby winning composition. Mbappe is no strangers to first place victories. Wants to make this another one, but the gold is slipping away. The Lucians are not coming into these shops, but he finds it.
He didn't bench the Lucian! He didn't bench the Lucian, Crow, and he just kind of throws away these items. The Jewel Gauntlet and the Fist of Fairness are on the bench now, not able to get them onto his Lucian. I can't believe that just happened, and all of a sudden he goes from a board that is essentially guaranteed to win the lobby to one that is only likely to win the lobby. Lucian 3 still going to do a lot of work with these items, but that is a catastrophic mistake for Mbappe.
Mbappe, though, man, can he make that work out? That was indeed a misplay.
Yeah, that is a very large misplay. It's possible he never gets punished because the power level of the unit itself is so good. But man, as I was watching that roll down, I was just saying to myself in the back of my head, make sure you bench the Lucian and get Lucian 3, make sure you bench the Lucian and get the Lucian 3, and he's not able to do it. Meanwhile, we see Cheetu, who does have this insanely powerful crit itemization on Vel'Koz, and I spy 4 additional copies of Vel'Koz over there on the left side of his bench, so also looking to go for a 3-star 4-cost carry, doing massive damage to Robin, who it seems like is destined for 3rd place in this lobby due to...
Oh man, alright, I mean, it's going to be the roll down for the Vel'Koz 3. This is what's happening right now, but not hitting. Still has a few more gold left to go, but Cheetu actually can greed this out a little bit, is not on 1 life remaining, so can actually use this 10 gold, econ just a little bit more. The burden is going to be on Mbappe. No room for mistakes. We know Mbappe already lost the last round. Garen 2, double renewer emblems, the swap over. Is the positioning enough? Is the Lucian going to find its way onto the Vel'Koz?
Cheetu's got him. Cheetu with that last second Phantom swap. He does not have the beam in the right place, but the Lucian dashes perfectly into the Vel'Koz laser beam, and it's not enough damage. The itemization with the Titans and the Infinity Edge with no Fist of Fairness, no healing for that Lucian, and so he's not able to actually out-sustain the damage that's being pumped out by this Vel'Koz, and that does swing the game. Mbappe makes that critical mistake in making the Lucian 3, and he gets punished for it. A 1st place guaranteed functionally becomes a 2nd.